What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. On this video, we're going to talk about when you lock up a deal and then the seller hits you after days, maybe weeks, what to do when a seller tells you, I no longer want to sell. All right, guys, so we've all experienced this, right? If you're doing a massive amount of deals, not even a massive amount, if you're doing a good amount of deals per year, you're going to get this happen to you at least once, right? And maybe you've already had this happen to you, maybe it's going on right now, right? So what do, right? So the big thing here is more than likely the seller got another offer. Now, every seller is going to lie to you and tell you, no, it wasn't that. Something came up, this happened, blah, 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 blah. So you need to identify first issue and get to the true reason why. Now, it really starts in the beginning. Before you even get a signature, before you even get the signature on your contract, it starts there. You got to be able to post-close a seller. And we hit this very hard, and it still happens to us sometimes. So what we've done in the past to prevent it from happening a lot more is we go for hard post-closes, right? Examples. Hey, let's say at the end of this call, we go over this agreement, everything looks good for you, right? Because I'm about to send it to you. It's just right before you send the agreement to the seller, right? You're telling them this. Before I send this to you, I just want to make sure if everything looks good on this agreement, what would happen next? Right? What would happen next? Oh, I would sign it. Perfect. Right there, they just post-close themselves. One, to get you to have them sign the contract. Two, to confirm to themselves that they want to sell to you. We respond back with that as, hey, okay, I understand completely. But are you really sure, you truly feel as if this is the right thing for you to be doing right now, or the right thing for you to do? And again, you've obviously already got them in the position to be able to say yes to that. But now they're closing themselves. They're telling you, yes, Gino, I want to move forward and sign this contract. Or yes, I want to move forward and go over this agreement. So they're begging you, right? And now here's the thing you can add towards the end. We don't do this as much, but this is one thing Steve Trang taught me is, once they sign the contract, we set expectations of what's going to happen next with, our disposition rep reaching out, TC, all that good stuff, right? Now, we don't say they're TC disposition rep. We just say some of our team members will reach out to you. But here's the thing. What you also can say towards the end of that call when they've already signed is, hey, let's just, Mr. Smith, let's just say from a couple of days from now, a seller, someone else reaches out to you, not a seller, but, another person interested in buying your house reaches out to you. And says they want to buy it. What are you going to say what would you say to them, or what would you tell that person? Oh, I'll tell them I'm already under contract with you. Okay, even if they're offering you more money? Yeah, because I'm under an agreement with you. Right there, again, you're setting expectations, and they're closing themselves, saying that's what I'm going to tell that person. So when someone does reach out, which they are, because if you're doing a 30-day close even, and we do 60 days on our MLS deals, but if you do a 30-day close, people are texting them every day, right? So you want to make sure that they're able and they understand that, look, they're under an agreement with you, and no matter whatever wholesaler or another investor offers them, they got to go with you, right? And let's just say in that example, the seller says, well, I would probably look at their offer, right? If their offer is more than you, what would you say to them? Well, I would probably look at it, right? And that's a perfect idea or indication that that's what that seller's going to do. And so now you can prep them. Well, I understand you'd want to look at it, but as you can see here, you just signed the legal binding agreement saying that you will buy it from us, or sell it to us. So does that mean anything to you? Right? And it's all about tone. I'm saying awkward things, but it's all about tone. So that means, yeah, it does. It means we're under an agreement together. Okay, well, what that also means, Mr. Seller, is that you can't sign anything else because we're right now in a legal agreement. Does that make sense? Okay, you're right, Gino. And again, this is all situation by situation. It's personality by personality, right? Depending on the seller. You don't want to pressure, say it's to an A-type personality, but you just want to let them know this is a legal binding agreement, right? And obviously, we can't tell you exactly what to do. Again, you're only saying this stuff if the seller answers back like, I'm going to look at that cash offer if it comes in. That's what you're going to respond back with, something like this. Like, okay, I understand, but do you know that that this is a legal binding agreement between us, and that, you won't be able to accept another offer since we're under that agreement. And again, this is just allowing you to foreshadow, to stop it, because guess what? If they're telling you now that they'll take the other offers, or, hey, we'll look at them to take them, like, they're going to do that to you. And it's right now, you addressing it at the contract signing call is preventing you from dealing with it 3, 4, 5 weeks later when the seller ghosts you and closes with another investor before you even had a chance to file a memorandum on the deal. And if you can't file a memorandum on the deal in time, that's why some people do it right away. You're going to lose out on that 30, 50, 60 grand deal just because you didn't set these expectations in the beginning, or you didn't let them know how this goes. Because some sellers are just clueless. Some think that they can go sign another contract. Now, you got to be pretty, not very educated, but hey, that's our fault if we didn't educate them that they can't do that in some sense, right? So make sure you guys are addressing it. That's probably the root cause of it, is in the beginning, right, of that call. Before they even sign, you making sure you ask these questions. And even after they sign, asking that question of what if an investor reaches out to you in 2 days from now. Now, further, let's say you got past that point. They come back to you. I'm trying to identify why did they change their mind, right? So I'm going to say, hey, we had this legal binding agreement. You told me that you were ready, when I asked you this question about, if an investor reached out, you told me you wouldn't do anything. So it's probably not the price then? No, it's not the price. It's my husband. So even if we got you more money, it sounds like I wouldn't even help the situation. Listen to them. And so if it's really not the money, they're going to say, no, it's really my husband got sick and we have to take care of him. I have to make my focus on that right now. Now, how do you handle that objection? I understand. Your family is the most important thing out of all of this. Well, why don't we just move the closing, push this all back at least 2 months? And if we have to do it again, then we'll do that as well. Or maybe push it back a month. And if we have to do another month, we'll do. And I'm just brainstorming here, right? I'm role playing to myself. But that's when I'm going to solve that objection. Now, if it's really money, the girl's going to answer when you said, hey, so even if we got you more money, it probably wouldn't change anything. If she says, well, it could. There, you identified the issue. It really is money, because now she's telling you if you gave her more money that it could work out. So let's say, you get to it. She says, yeah, it could. Okay, it could. So it does sound like it's the money. Now, I'm assuming that another person reached out to you and gave you more money. Maybe they say no, maybe they say yes, but at least you identified it's the money. If they say no, say, okay, well then what were you hoping for more money? What changed between, now and when now you want a little bit? What changed? What caused that? Well, my bills got higher. I owe a little more than I thought. I understand. So what are you hoping for? And again, guys, I'm not going to keep going with these role plays because it's just identifying the issue. You want to identify that issue so you can attack the objection like anything in sales. We need to know what we need to get over, what objection we need to get over so that we can now correct it, fix it, and close it. Now, in games, sometimes you can never get these sellers back, right? They're saying, I'm not selling no more. I don't want to sell no more. And you got to file memorandums, right? Memorandums are what allow you to put like a mini lien on the property, right? It prevents the sale of the property. If they go to try to sell it to someone else, we're going through a couple of those now where we got paid off $20K for one. That was 2 years ago. That we were going to make like $40K, and we took a $20K settlement. And we got one now that the guys are actually emailing me trying to threaten to sue. We were going to make $30K, and now they're saying they'd only give us $5. But the seller just stopped answering us. So, all this stuff goes into play with what you want to do. But, first things first is set that expectation at the beginning of that contract call. When you're going over the agreement with them, like those things we talked about earlier, setting expectations. What if an investor tries to give you a higher offer? Once they've already signed, you say to them, what if an investor was to get you a higher offer in 3-4 days? What are you going to say to them? Ideally, you want them to obviously say, well, I'm with you. I'm under a contract. I'm going to tell them I'm under a contract with you, right? And then 2 is make sure that when you're talking to these sellers, right, that you're letting them know and you're identifying when they tell you they don't want to sell to you, why? What happened? Was there something? What changed between now and then? Was it the price? No, because they'll say, no, it's not. And then you can tell them, okay, so if I got you more money, then it probably wouldn't affect anything. And then you'll see the true reality. They'll say, yeah, if you gave me more money, I could do. So you identify the objection, try to solve that. And then worst case scenario, third thing is you got to file the memorandum. Let them know, hey, we're going to have to get this, we had a legal binding agreement. We're filing this memorandum on your property. It's allowing everyone to know that we want to buy your property and that we are under an agreement to buy it, and it just didn't work out because your husband got sick. That's fine. We're just going to keep that there, though. That way, when you come back and sell, we're going to be here because more than likely the seller's telling you, yeah, I'll come back to you once he's feeling better, right? In my example that the husband was sick. That's why she's postponing the closing. I'll come back to you when the husband's feeling better. And we'll sell to you. So, hey, I just put that on there so that way everyone knows that you're going to come back to me, that I'm going to buy your house once your husband feels better. Now, when they have to go to a closing, when she's probably going to sell to some other investor, they're going to see your lien on that property, your memorandum filed on that property. So your notice of interest, right? Every state's different. So anyway, guys, I hope you got some value from this video. If you did, please leave a comment down below, like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.